Live from San Bernardino, California, Mark and Adrian present a Smark and a Mark. Here we're going to be talking about Raw, Smackdown, 205 Live, and the best booking options for Finn Balor, the Demon King, Big Finny, Notorious F-I-N-N, whatever else his name is. Here on a Smark and a Mark. Cut the pyro, brother.
Did you say Phineas Balor?
Finnegan
Balor.
Balor.
Jesus.
That's what the Finn's short for. Finnegan.
I thought it was short. Is it? No, it's not.
Phineas, Finn.
You're talking.
What?
I can't. Well, first of all, I can't trust anything you say.
Well, I observe wrestling from the top of the Wrestling Observatory.
Yes.
We're here live at the Wrestling Observatory, by the way, in the tallest point in San Bernardino, California, which is an undisclosed location.
There you go. What's up, dude? How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. I had
You know what? That's good to hear.
Thank you.
Now let me tell you about my day.
Good. Tell me. I'm all ears.
What were you gonna say?
We had to get through a rough segment focused week of Raw and SmackDown.
Segment focus. You didn't like it?
SmackDown, yes.
SmackDown was heavily segment.
Yeah,
segmented.
it was
so much so that their main event or their final match that they had on the show, you really didn't pay attention to it. It was ridiculous.
But I did enjoy Raw, and we'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But we also had some good news coming up earlier in the week that via social media photos, we were able to see that Finn Balor is actually performing at live events.
House shows or what?
House shows.
Oh, okay.
So there was a lot of photos going across social media where you were able to see Triple H, Samoa Joe, and Kevin Owens going up against Finn Balor, Chris Jericho, and some other Poithen. Just doesn't come to memory. But the point being is that Finn Balor's back. It's good to see him back. It's been a whole year almost leading, if you count the whole SummerSlam.
Has it been almost a whole year?
It's been 8 months. Because remember, SummerSlam 2015 is the last time he was...
SummerSlam 2015?
2016.
2016.
Sorry. Yeah. 2016 is the last time he was able to... I was like, this is a long time ago.
Uh-huh.
Now the question is how do you book this guy coming up after his return? Because the problem that lies within WWE now with Finn Balor is that, well, you're about 2.5 weeks away from Mania. Do you start and rush a storyline with this gentleman, or do you wait post WrestleMania to get something on with this guy? Have someone to get a program with, because everyone's booked up. He can't do it with Seth Rollins. He can't do it with AJ Styles now. He can't do it with a lot of people.
With what, Finn Balor?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's no way he can go against AJ Styles. He's on Smackdown. Probably Kevin Owens for the United... No. Well, he's
Goldberg's booked up with him.
Yeah, he's immediately...
I mean, not Goldberg, but Kevin Owens is doing that thing with Chris Jericho.
Yeah, but post-WrestleMania...
post-WrestleMania, yeah, but I'm saying you can't just, okay, well, Finn Balor is available now. Let's rush in a storyline with him. That's something you don't want to do.
He's going to win the Giant Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
Those little things are meant for...
Big guys.
Big mid guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Apollo Crews to win. He needs to.
Oh, is that what you're going with?
Yeah, hopefully he's my dark horse for that match. You know, no pun intended, but he is supposed to be the guy to do it. So there's tons of questions that come up. I mean, do you have him work up WrestleMania? I don't think so, because you're looking at too close of a time to build up a feud that's gonna be so. You can't book a monumentous feud at this point going to WrestleMania with somebody that's at the tier with Finn Balor, former Universal Champ.
Yeah.
Then another question comes up after that. Well, do you book him as a heel, book him as a face? Tons of questions come up with that.
Well, don't you think that Raw's a little too heel heavy right now? So they're for sure gonna try to face him, make him a face.
I agree, because I've even heard reports that Sami Zayn's actually going to turn heel. They're going to get that situated because there's too many of them at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But let's get a few points across before we even go in and talk about Finn Balor's potential booking return.
Okay.
His last televised match was at SummerSlam 2016. He won the Universal title in the inaugural match for it against Seth Rollins. Yep. But he had to forfeit the title the next day on Monday Night Raw because he had a torn labrum. He's also entitled to a shot at the Universal title due to the fact that he didn't really essentially lose the title.
Yeah, he relinquished it.
So with that being said, let's dive into the possible scenarios for Finnegan's post-WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Okay, so after Brock beats Goldberg at WrestleMania...
Okay, calm down here.
Finn can then come and surprise Brock Lesnar for a tease going off the air. Tease leading up and going off the air at WrestleMania.
Oh, okay.
That builds the attention for Raw the next day. That's why I think that is the ideal thing to do right now because, well, he's healthy enough to even have a little bit of action, but let's tease that until Monday night. I feel that hear me out now, having heel Brock Lesnar go up against face Finn Balor as the Demon King, Demon versus the Beast, Rumble in the Jungle, Thrilla in Manila. You see where I'm going here, right?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think about that? What's your input on that?
As far as his return,
yeah,
or what's going to happen, I don't think he's going to come back at WrestleMania. Everyone already knows that the Raw after WrestleMania is the show to watch. It's like one of the best Raws of the year.
Yeah.
So the potential for him to just come back, I'd rather have him come back the day after. Be like, all right, what the hell's been going on since I left? Yeah. Possibly, maybe be a heel, and then just kind of say do away with all these older guys or Barry Goldberg, essentially, and I don't know, dude. Like, Balor versus Brock is a hard sell, but it's not because when you're talking kayfabe right here, Brock could be beat because he was already beat by Goldberg
exactly
fairly quickly. So I don't know. I just don't like the matchups. Whether Goldberg wins or Brock wins, I don't like the matchups with Finn Balor between both of those guys. I'd say if he comes back and say Kevin Owens wins the United States title off of Jericho the night before, immediately go into Kevin Owens in a feud right there, saying, when I was gone, you took the belt my belt was given to you. You could start a feud right there between Owens and Balor, and then just have them work for that until they figure out what the fuck they're doing with the Universal title, and then have him finally get his shot back at that.
So then, let's go into that one. Let's go into your scenario where Finn Balor goes into Monday Night Raw. So he returns at Monday Night Raw and establishes that he wants a shot at the title that he never lost, right? Okay. So then he gets told by the GMs that he gets his shot at the title at the next pay-per-view, which is Money in the Bank, right?
I heard is Money in the Bank going to be I heard that's a specific Smackdown.
Oh, it's going to be Smackdown exclusive?
Yeah, I believe so. That's what I heard.
Oh, man, I didn't hear that at all. But I feel that the route's going to be there where Finn has to get an opportunity at the nearest pay-per-view.
Yeah, but... Oh, not for the Money in the Bank?
No, not for the Money in the Bank, but just the nearest Raw-centered pay-per-view. Yeah. Because it's a situation where they expected him to not lose the title for a great amount of time. He looked like... I mean, if you substitute Finn Balor for Kevin Owens, it looks like the same route was going to go with... He was going to go the same route as Kevin Owens did by getting beat by Goldberg at the previous pay-per-view. Yeah. So, I mean, I just feel that the way they have it, Finn can easily just go back in and beat Finn Balor. But then again, who's going to be the person that's going to be Brock? Yeah. You know what I mean? But ideally, the best place to give the title back to him is SummerSlam.
Yeah. The second biggest pay-per-view of the...
And the same place where he had to give it up.
True. Come full circle.
I think so.
Damn, that sucks. That kills all momentum for Homeboy. For Finn Balor.
Yeah,
He was. They strapped the rocket onto him. They were going to shoot him to the fucking moon.
But and so one other question I wanted to bring up too is at what point can WWE cash in with an actual Balor Club instead of it being him by himself? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that later when we get to SmackDown Live.
Okay.
But I see potential.
Yeah.
Of there maybe forming.
The seeds have been planted. You're saying
the seeds have been planted. Maybe.
So let me go into the quick Q&A that I have here with the other.
Sweet.
The Facebook group, geeksgamers.com, actually was able to give us some quick little ideas with Q&As.
Real quick while you're pulling that up.
Yeah.
What if Goldberg wins and then Balor challenges Goldberg and Goldberg smashes Balor?
They just keep him having the title for
I have something to,
eons.
I have something to share with you.
Yes.
Do you want me to share this with you before we get to the Q&A? It's just something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I seen I should have pulled it up on here.
Yeah.
I seen a post where
Yeah.
someone posted this. They said, "Are we sure WWE won the Monday Night Wars? Are we sure?"
Uh-huh.
Did you see this post?
Oh yeah.
It
Please.
says-
It's very entertaining.
So hear me out. Raw is 3 hours long.
Uh-huh.
Jericho is the most entertaining part of Raw. Cruiserweights are something to look forward to every week. Announce desk is at the ramp. Goldberg is champion. Call me a conspiracy theorist, but it seems like WCW played the long con and seemingly went out of business just to reemerge. And all that's left is to have an NBA player wrestle. Wait a minute. Shaq's supposed to wrestle show at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
There you go. The WWE is slowly turning into the WCW.
Nitro,
Don't get
brother.
it twisted. Don't get it twisted.
So I have two possible scenarios here for Finn Balor post WrestleMania. So Wes Blank from geeksgamers.com's
Wes Blank.
Facebook group. He's a frequent contributor.
Is he a mark?
He's definitely a mark. He's a mark for the product. So maybe a heel turn in return and cost the Undertaker's opportunity at Mania. Sets up a Demon versus Undertaker at SummerSlam.
Do you want to see that?
That's a good possibility, but what I need a conclusive ending to the Undertaker's career.
Yeah,
You
you're
know?
not going to get that anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to get that before I die. The next one we have from Harold Hernandez. He writes, I'd have Finn turn heel and join Gallows and Anderson as the Balor Club. All superstars lack any sense of depth or strike any fear, and Finn always works best as a heel. They'd be keeping him face just to sell toys, which can potentially have more fans turn on him for being boring, which a lot have already. Similar to APA, they can have scenes of them partying, smoking, and drinking. Total heels. Carl can also be somewhat of a second in command, which I like. Carl Anderson is a damn good wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
We have the Slays of San Bernardino.
There you go.
The one who lured Finn into bringing back the club, being Anderson. This time Carl would be more than just a fucking doormat and actually show some intelligence, and Finn can actually be the top heel on Raw. He makes some good points. Carl Anderson can be a great wrestler. He can definitely play that role. Finn Balor can be the top heel. We've seen interviews with him in New Japan where he's just like, I don't give a fuck. I'll do whatever I want.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of what Finn Balor can bring. Finn Balor has that attitude. Mm-hmm. He has that switch in him. And not a lot of faces have that. Not a lot of faces can be good heels.
Yeah.
You know, that intangible is almost unteachable. You just have to be a natural badass.
Now, what if he turns heel and then joins the Triple H heel stable right now instead?
I'm
Or he's
thinking
with Kevin Owens and Samoa Joe, and they kind of protect each other.
I'm thinking the Triple H stable is actually going to be the Balor Club.
Really?
I mean, and that'd be a great underhand thing to do, like where Triple H gives Finn Balor the guys, and then just has them as the Balor Club, and then it sets up seeds for Triple H versus Finn Balor because he's like, well, I gave you this to be the new evolution, and you're just making it a club of your own guys.
It also sets up
Call me crazy, but
Samoa Joe turn on Finn Balor.
Yeah, and their crazy matches that they'll have
at NXT.
So
revive that.
The thing I have to see, any major changes involving Finn Balor, whether it's him making a stable, whether it's him winning or losing a match. It has to happen. His next debut has to happen at a major pay-per-view. I say you milk this thing just to get the attention back on the kid. Unless, you want to have it do a surefire way of having people watch another pay-per-view, even in its benefit. You can just have him show up as a main event on a lower tier pay-per-view. So it's all up in the air with that, but I just wanted to get that out there. It's good to have him back. It's been a long time, man, and it's been overdue.
The photo you seen, was it the same photo I seen where it was just his briefcase? Or not his briefcase, his suitcase that was just cracked open and had his kicking pads and his Balor Club jacket? That was pretty badass. That was a pretty badass post. Man. I was like, damn, he's back at work.
I remember the first time I was able to check him out, he actually faced Tyler Breeze, and this is when they were still doing the NXT thing, and I didn't know much of the guy when I was barely watching these house shows, and I was like, I never thought of the whole aura of Finn till later, and I'm like, wow, this guy's really, really good,
Oh yeah, him live. It doesn't translate like the type of feeling you get when you watch TV. When you watch TV, you're like, oh, that's badass, but when you're sitting there live, you're like,
yeah, I had bad seats too, so I was like, I was in front of a beam.
Seats is everything, dude. At a live show or at these wrestling shows,
I agree, man.
It's everything, dude.
Being the second row at that NXT event in Riverside was,
yeah, that was good.
Awesome, dude.
Where our seats were pretty dope too. We were on the balcony.
You had those. The whole arena that we were in was like a theater-esque type of arena.
Yeah.
Looked cool, man. You guys look like the two old Muppets. Oh, this isn't better than the old days.
That was definitely cause that night.
Yeah. It's good stuff, man. So, let's go ahead and dive into Monday Night Raw, shall we?
Okay, man. Monday Night Raw. Brock and Heyman, dude. Open up the show. Beast promos. Of course, Heyman is always good for a promo. But it was just that. It was them challenging, of course, Goldberg, and Brock's gonna defeat him, and really got the crowd over on Brock's side on that one, because for seemingly I think the crowd is more over it with Goldberg than anything, and that kind of pisses me off, because like I've said, dude, I'm not a fan of Goldberg. I've never have been. He was never really that good, especially like I don't know. He was squashing a lot of people in WCW. I really didn't watch WCW too.
Oh, dude, that's the thing. I was watching WCW during that time, and they booked him, and I got worked, man. I got worked into believing that this guy was a monster. And it happened right, dude.
Did you get worked to thinking that people were going to beat him?
Thinking that no one was going to beat him, or thinking that
people actually could beat him?
No, they built it to where, well, here's another guy. Here's another guy for Goldberg to take care of.
So for you getting worked back in the day, do those same emotions translate today?
No, I've seen through that veil a long time ago.
yeah, but you're a fan of Goldberg still, though, right?
No. Dude, the way Survivor Series went, totally.
Did you think that was cool, though?
No,
you didn't think
I was pissed off.
Squash match was.
I was upset. You should have saw my reactions in the car. Like, I was driving home, watching the network, and just briefly.
I remember when Goldberg beat Brock. I was driving down the 210,
and I was pissed off. I was like, wait, this is not going to be a squash match. And then he counts to 3, and I'm like, you gotta be.
Oh no,
you got to be kidding me.
You were poorly mistaken.
Yeah, to find out that this match wasn't going to be an all-out, brawl-out match, I was shocked, because they were building it up to be that, and Goldberg shocks the world is totally not believable right in this day and age. And what's even worse is what he did to Kevin Owens. That was terrible. That Fastlane match was. Yeah, we can't even get into that.
Lawrence brought it up. He goes, did you enjoy Kevin Owens' run? I was like, yeah, I thought he was pretty badass. Did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy this? Did you enjoy Shinsuke? I was like, yeah, dude, all that was tight. He goes, all right, there's people who enjoy Goldberg, and now it's their time to get catered to. And I'm like, yeah, but come on. What wrestling always talks about when you go and you watch YouTube, like seminars or what do you call them? Lectures. It's believability with wrestling. All the workers talk about is believability. And right now, I'm not buying Goldberg beating Brock. I'm not buying Goldberg beating Kevin Owens. Imagine seeing Kevin Owens get over on him, like, with heel tactics and actually having a match, a really good match where, I don't know.
So, from what I'm seeing on WWE's end is that they're attracting a demographic that has been long gone.
Mm-hmm.
What? Goldberg's champion now?
Yeah.
I'm going to tune in. That's the one big reason why Goldberg's the Universal Champion and why he's on Monday Night Raw and not SmackDown. It's just the main show you got to be on. The only, the show that's going to have the most commercials. And you know what? Guess who we're going to have on first? And guess who we're going to have on last? It's either going to be Brock Lesnar or Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. Did you think they were trying to do that with Sting and he didn't draw as much as Goldberg is? Because, dude, the Sting thing kind of pisses me off when you see the push that Brock Lesnar or that Goldberg's getting. And I, like I said, I wasn't even a really big fan of
the fact that Sting actually had to wrestle and Goldberg doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Where he even had matches where it went longer back in his original run in the early 2000s with WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like that, it's a whole slew of things because Sting didn't deserve that treatment either. Didn't deserve to lose to Triple H at WrestleMania. I think every superstar of magnitudes of Stings, the upper echelon of stars deserve the WrestleMania moment. What does Sting have to credit for? Well, I laid my back out for Triple H.
Huh.
Nah, I don't think that's cool. But with Sting being a draw like that, yeah, that's the bad treatment in comparison to what Goldberg and Brock get. Oh yeah, he worked too many dates.
Yeah.
There's just a lot that we can't get into on that one. But
we were watching the network when you got here. We're watching it's like a podcast basically. Bring it to the table.
Yeah.
And they were talking about the same thing about Goldberg being champion.
Mm-hmm.
And JBL broke it down, and he said basically the same thing. As long as the Goldberg's drawing, he's going to be champion. When people start to not like him or people stop watching, that's when you're going to see him really take a decline, which has to happen. I don't know. I don't see him going anywhere past WrestleMania with the title or even with the run like he has right now.
You and I both.
All right, so
I totally agree.
So after that, we go backstage segment where Stephanie McMahon's getting on Mick Foley, and she tells him, we've had rocky. It's been a bumpy road recently. She tests him. She says, by the end of tonight, I want you to fire somebody, and you have 3 hours to think about it. And then he's already stressing. He's already stressing as it is.
Yeah.
So when she drops that on him, he was just freaking out.
Yeah.
So we get that throughout the night. Him threatening people. He threatened Gallows and Anderson that he was going to fire both of them. Which, by the way, Gallows and Anderson cut a promo saying, exactly what we've been talking about. That since they've been champions, people really aren't paying attention to them, or maybe they're not getting the push that they deserve as champions. So that was awesome to note. Which is what made me think about a possible club, an actual club forming.
Yeah.
Because they're starting to, bite back, and they're starting to really put themselves out there again.
All the merch is aligning for those guys, like the Gallows and Anderson shirt is reminiscent of the Bullet Club, their new shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which looks cool, by the way. I'm kind of tempted to buy it when it's $5 or $10.
Hey, they released a club ugly Christmas sweater. It actually looks pretty badass.
Yeah?
Yeah, they don't have it in my size, but it looks pretty badass. So after that, we had this match with I think it was, I don't even remember who was in the match.
Was it Juicer Mahal?
Juicer Mahal? No, it was Dana Brooke versus
Dana Brooke, and it was
Bayley.
Dana Brooke and Bayley.
Yeah. So they, of course, Charlotte and Sasha Banks are on the outside of the ring. They have their match, which was all right. It wasn't too.
Wait, strike that. That was Sasha Banks and Dana Brooke.
Was it?
Because remember, Sasha Banks looks. She had that toss look when she went on the outside of the ring, and it was so tossed that like her braided tracks were showing on her hair. And I was like, wait, oh man, poor, because I like Sasha. I think she's a very beautiful woman, but it's just when you notice that kind of thing, it's like you want to shy away from it because you don't want to see that.
Yeah.
I hate seeing things I don't want to see on live camera sometimes. So yeah,
it was Sasha and Dana Brooke with Charlotte and Bayley on the outside. Like I said, it wasn't anything to call home about the match, but it also wasn't anything to it wasn't too botchy on Dana Brooke's part, which is what has been the gripe about
as
her.
long as she's improving.
Yeah. So I forgot the finish of the match, but Charlotte once again Charlotte takes the loss.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm sorry, Dana Brooke takes the loss. Charlotte grabs the mic, gets in the ring, and just tells her she's shit,
yeah,
worthless. What are you doing? And so she's alluding to the fact that she's gonna fire her basically as her valet or her partner. And before she even said that, Dana Brooke hits her with the forearm in the mouth, and then runs Charlotte out of the ring.
Yeah.
So that right there, she broke off from her. Now it looks like we're going into a feud with Charlotte versus Dana Brooke.
Face Dana Brooke?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Does that? Would you consider that
for her to turn on Charlotte and how shitty Charlotte is? Yeah, that'd be a face turn right there.
It's going to be good to see how well Charlotte can carry Dana through that match, and I'm sure they're going to be practicing a lot, etc. But it's going to be good to see that. I want to see because Flair can carry anybody through a match. Flair and I'm talking Ric Flair.
Yeah, yeah.
So hopefully it's passed through via genetics.
Oh, she is genetically superior. And that was pretty cool. We talked about this. Dana Brooke was kind of shoehorned into this position because she was going to have a run with Emma. Emma got injured, and then they just kind of paired her up with Charlotte. So we've seen Dana Brooke's run in NXT, me and you personally, which is pretty badass. I didn't hate it. I thought she was really. She should have stayed in NXT instead of calling her up. She should have stayed down there because she could have built something really good with Asuka or Ember Moon or whoever those two lesbian couple that's down there.
Billie Kay and Peyton Royce.
Yeah, she could have been one of the ones to really build up the women's division again down there. But
that's the weak. That is the Achilles heel of NXT is the women's division right now.
Yeah,
when you go into that. They took a lot of chicks out early. They took Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, and Nia Jax almost in one fell swoop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Totally depleted that division.
Which kind of left Asuka
to be the next Goldberg?
To be the next Goldberg. She already surpassed his streak.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see. And then we have Akira Tozawa and Brian Kendrick. Their feud is bad. I like their feud. He's kind of like trying to take... Kendrick's trying to take Tozawa under his wing and teach him stuff and give him tips. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. And plus, of course, he hits him again with that headbutt suicide dive.
I saw that, and it was literally it was almost up to the neck. That was pretty rough.
It's not even a suicide dive anymore. It's a flying headbutt. Yeah. The way he's doing it, which keeps getting more brutal and brutal. So there's a cruiserweight tag match between T.J. Perkins and Sugar Tony Nese. Right?
Oh, was it the premier athlete?
Oh no! It's T.J. and Tozawa, I believe, and then Nese and
Brian Kendrick.
Nese and Brian Kendrick. Which, dude, I'm not getting anything off Tony Nese.
Yeah, you and I both.
I don't know. What do we do with the premier athlete?
He has a great moveset.
Does he?
To me, he does.
Why is he dressed like a superhero?
I remember one time he literally came out with this shield thing to the center of his chest, and then he never wore it again.
Well, yeah. What the hell?
He's like Tino Sabatelli, man. He's just all buff and no charisma. Like to me, Rick Rude was able to sell the idea of him being the shit, being buff. But how does a guy not like Tony Nese? Tony Nese should observe that and see, well...
He should wrestling observe it.
Yeah, he should observe it from our wrestling observatory. Mm-hmm. The fact that he doesn't... Well, I want to get to is the fact that he doesn't know how to make the most of what he got. Mm-hmm. Having a body like that gives you gifts, gives you the ability to do a lot of things, especially as a heel. Look at how I look. Mm-hmm. You want to be like this. I know you want to be like the premier athlete. Look, I can do Tony Nese's job. Yeah. Like, it's all theater, brother. But it's just it's not getting to him. The route's not meeting with this guy.
When your name is the premier athlete, you need to have a premier personality as well, and he doesn't have that. And it, I don't know. They're like,
what I do? All right, I'll flex.
let's push Drew Gulak, a guy who can actually wrestle
and cut a promo,
and give him that spot. I don't know, dude. That shit pisses me off.
The premier Gulak.
The premier Gulak. So Nese wins with the roll up on TJ. Mm-hmm. he grabs the trunks, basically pulls his whole ass. His entire ass was out. And they cut cameras really quick. It was bad, but yeah, he got the win. Whatever.
Oh, man, going commando while you're wrestling, huh?
After that, the club interview, where they interviewed Gallows and Anderson, which they put themselves, they pretty much staked their claim. You know, being mean and making green. Need more of that. Need more of that. Need more mic time with the club. Need more fucking. What are your intentions? We need them to be of championship caliber now.
Gotta respect the titles.
Gotta respect the titles.
They're fresh titles,
even though they're red.
I know the beef jerky, the Jack Link's titles,
the Jimmy John's Tag Team Championship.
You have to bring prestige to a title early, and it's not that WWE's not trying to do that, but they're dealing with a lot of issues where they have a depleted tag team division. The New Day's taking a month break by doing segments, which they deserve, like we mentioned earlier.
Oh yeah,
we mentioned in earlier shows. But you have a depleted division. They can't face Cesaro and Sheamus 89 times, despite the fact that they have.
You know what they should do? A best of 7.
Oh yeah, I remember Mick Foley alluded to that, and they're like, "No," literally leaving an Easter egg that wasn't a good idea because no one won that best of 7 series, which kind of pissed me off.
Yeah, but honestly, dude, towards the last 6 matches of the best of 7.
Oh yeah. After the first one, I was kind of tired of it.
The last couple matches of that best of 7 was really good, though. They did some dope shit.
Exactly.
They did some dope shit.
So yeah, let's have WWE bring prestige to those titles, man. Because you know what, a duo like Gallows and Anderson deserve it. They've ran roughshod everywhere they went. Mm-hmm. You know, like that tag team, super cool.
Super cool. I think that the WWE Raw Tag Team division needs a revival. That's what I think. Do what you can. Whatever that means.
Yeah.
WWE do that.
What kind of revival do you suggest within the tag team division?
They need to take the tag team division and just take all the flips out of it and then just fists.
So just a dash of something wilder.
Yeah, if you can get a Dawson in there a little bit, just like you said, a dash of that, a Dawson of this, maybe a call up of this,
a call up of that.
That'll be perfect. Honestly,
they do. They do need to come up and leave NXT to Tommaso Ciampa
and Johnny Gargano.
Super sweet Johnny Wrestling Johnny Gargano.
What if they just call up the Authors of Pain and leave them? I'd be pissed, dude. I'd
Paul Ellering would come back to the main stage and have his WrestleMania moment again. The new Legion of Doom.
So afterwards, Kevin Owens comes out, and then he takes center stage, spotlight on him and everything. You're officially in the Kevin Owens show. He cuts a promo on Chris Jericho. What he doesn't like about Chris Jericho, basically shits on him. Refers to the fact that, you know, it's Kevin Owens, dude. You've seen what happened between him and Sami Zayn. Yeah. What makes you think him and Jericho are going to be any different? Awesome leads into a match with him and Samoa Joe versus Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn.
That's who was the third person that Finn Balor. That was the one. Mm-hmm. The third person that Finn Balor faced against. He was the third babyface.
Oh, yeah.
It was Balor, Jericho, and Zayn, but
the match ends due to disqualification because Samoa Joe and Kevin Owens just beat the shit out of Sami Zayn. Just jump him. That was a cool match, though. I like all 4 of those guys, and to be able to see them weekly all together, dude. Yeah, I like Samoa Joe in singles matches. I like Owens, but what are you gonna do? I'm not complaining about that.
It seems like they're waiting out to actually have these guys face someone else, you know. Just they're basically playing out the feud for post WrestleMania because they didn't anticipate that Seth Rollins wasn't going to be in this picture yet. But we'll keep going into that, leading into more into Raw.
Okay, and then once again, cut to backstage. Stephanie putting the heat on Mick Foley. You're which makes you think, who's he going to fire? Who can they fire?
This is hour 2, right? The top of hour 2?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Somewhere in there. And then Jinder Mahal interrupts that, and then tells him what's wrong with, like, he basically puts himself over. And because, if there's anyone that can be cut off the Raw roster, Hardbody Mahal.
Yeah.
Definitely
HGH Mahal.
HGH Mahal. So immediately Foley puts him to the test and said, all right, go out there, you're going to face Roman Reigns.
Oh.
So he faces Roman Reigns, and I don't know, do you like Hardbody Mahal? Other than the fact that he's sweating HGH?
For what Jinder Mahal needs to do, his role,
Mm-hmm.
he has to job out for baby faces. He's doing it.
That's
and
the
I need a worker. That's all I need. For what he needs to do, an expendable guy that just needs to face the top tier talent before they actually face the people on go home shows that they need to through their feuds. Yeah. Jinder's a good guy. But I mean, it's like I mentioned to you in the Fastlane podcast, the way he looks takes away from the match.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention to the guy who's all roided, well, allegedly, I only observed this from a wrestling observatory,
yeah.
But this guy looks like he stacked up a lot of weight quick. From when he started to how he is now,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
it's almost laughable.
It is comedic. It's comedic because he's not a top tier star to be doing all that. But anyway, he's doing his job as a heel. Typical, like, nationalistic heel.
Mm-hmm.
WWE likes those, needs those, and he's doing his job. Jobber to the stars.
We had an Undertaker tease in the middle of that, and I believe Shawn Michaels came out,
yeah,
and then told him, he just broke it down. He's Mr. WrestleMania. They had this stupid "whose yard is it" sort of thing. Which is funny because Undertaker, like I think Kaz said, Undertaker hasn't cut the "this is my yard" promo for fucking 12 years. And then Roman Reigns wants to go ahead and take that. So he comes out and says, for him to be in your head this badly, this close to WrestleMania, he's winning. Pretty much puts over Taker. What the hell are you doing, Roman? I don't know. What are your thoughts of this match?
Taker and Roman?
We can break it down later, but so far, what do you think leading into, what was it, 3 weeks away from WrestleMania?
There needs to be one factor set in stone, and that is the identity of what Roman Reigns is going, or the identity that Roman Reigns has going into WrestleMania. Because a face Undertaker, despite WrestleMania 30, because Brock and Undertaker, that had to be done, I guess. A face Undertaker usually doesn't lose a WrestleMania, and that's only by one defeat. Yeah. So I don't like counting in that factor.
Yeah. It's almost a non-factor.
Roman Reigns has to win via heel shenanigans unless they do the swerve of the century by giving the opportunity for Undertaker to use the American Badass gimmick. See how illogical that sounds when I mention that? Because he'll have to roll out WrestleMania with his motorcycle. And that just, all these factors, you can't have a double swerve come in, like the go home before WrestleMania. That can't happen. It's too quick. There has to be a WrestleMania, an epic heel turn at WrestleMania, and it has to be Roman Reigns, because doing it with Undertaker would be, I don't think it'd be ideal.
For some part of me wanted me to believe that this match wasn't going to happen. That somewhere along this line, it's going to be replaced. To see someone's going to replace Roman.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And those white sneakers.
Hopefully, he brings those white. He packs those white sneakers.
Those white Nike combat boots.
Yeah. That was all the notes I have taken for Raw. But I believe there was a women's segment after that. Might have not been. No, I might be tripping. Anyways, we finally get to the end of the show. Mick Foley, Stephanie calls out Mick Foley. Who you gonna fire? Who is it? Show me. That you as a GM can take control or whatever. You can be the bad guy. You can be the good guy. Who are you gonna fire? So he puts over. I've been thinking a lot. The one that makes the most sense, and he says, "You, Stephanie," and then she goes, "What?" Freaks out.
Yeah.
So then, basically, shits on her and tells her, no one likes you, or you're the one that's fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Triple H comes out, and then Triple H cuts this promo. Triple H cut is why I like Triple H, because he's that nasty dude that can get in, that can lay down the law. Tells him, you're gonna listen to what we have to say, and if she tells you to jump, you better jump. And he calls him a monkey.
Yeah. Fucking
like, he rips on him for being. For like his body, how trashed his body is. He's like, so wobble up that ramp, go in the back, dude. He shits on him bad, and then plus he brings like his family into it and shit. And his family's, people are well aware of his family because of the show on the network, which is pretty awesome though. I like that show.
Holy Foley's good,
pretty good. So he basically tells him, get to stepping, get out of here. Tells him to leave. And then shits on him. Mick Foley puts his head down, and as he's walking out of the ring, reaches into his sweats. Anyone who knows anything about Mick Foley knows what he packs in those sweats.
Yeah.
So that kind of, it was, the crowd popped hard for that, and only the crowd to that side who's seen it, they fucking freaked out.
Yeah.
So Stephanie's facing the other way, still trying to talk, and then Triple H looks back at him like, what the hell are you doing, Mick? Get out! So he goes up to him. Mick Foley slaps a mandible claw on him, Socko. And fucking killing Triple H in the corner.
Yeah.
Stephanie does her classic low blow through the legs.
Learned that from China.
She did.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, China.
Rest in pieces. She hits him with the low blow, and then Triple H starts taking off his shirt. Looks like he's about to lay into Mick Foley.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins comes out on a crutch, hobbling to the ring, and then grabs a crutch and throws it down and runs in the ring and starts. He's like good to go. He looks good to go.
Did you get that? Did you get that perspective when he drops the crutch and then the kid in the front row is just like, what the, like magic happened.
That was for that kid.
It leads me to believe that whole knee injury was a semi-work.
That's what I thought. Maybe he strained it because it did look nasty the way Samoa Joe took his back and brought him to the ground. But I thought from day one that was a work.
Yeah.
That maybe he's not as injured as he is, and we are going to roll into WrestleMania with a Triple H versus Seth Rollins. That I rewatched when Triple H gifted Owens the title. Mm-hmm. The way he hit Seth Rollins with that pedigree was a thing of beauty. And if someone's over there hitting pedigrees, your move in the ring, when you hit that guy who's hitting your move, you got to drive his ass into the ground. And Triple H did it perfectly. So ever since then, I've been wanting to see that match.
Yeah,
and hopefully
we'll get our payoff.
Hopefully, it looks like we're going into.
So he puts the crutch over by dropping it, and just basically lets everyone know as a symbol that he's ready to go in the ring right now to take care of what he has to do with Triple H. Mm-hmm. He's not waiting for WrestleMania. He's not waiting for any clearance of doctors or any non-sanctioned street fight, a la WrestleMania 2002 when Shawn Michaels and Triple H went at it.
Oh, Shawn Michaels, yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You might know him as a young Michael Hickenbottom.
What is that?
Shawn Michaels' real name.
Michael Hickenbottom?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
Yeah. But anyway, so Seth and Triple H then have the altercation in the ring, and Triple H gets the upper hand and then starts hitting him.
He wraps that crutch around his knee.
Yeah.
And he bends it. And he goes to it again and again. What do you think? After seeing that, are we going to get Triple H, Seth Rollins?
Oh, yeah.
At WrestleMania?
We're getting worked hard.
At WrestleMania?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's going to be... It has to be one of those things where the announcers are making it sound like a shoot, like these guys aren't supposed to be here. They might even cut off a match. They might have like a phony match, and then they'll just have Seth and Triple H just go out running the ring. I don't know. Like Triple H might cut a promo before a match, and then Seth just comes out. It's going to be a grassroots type of match where it's like, well, we're not going to have their music. They have to get that gist across. Mm-hmm. I hope it happens like that because there's too much leading up for us not to believe that this is going to happen. Yeah. Don't show up at WrestleMania. Well, what happens when you put up a sign that says "Don't feed the bears"?
Yeah, exactly.
Don't feed the alligators. You want to feed them. Mm-hmm. Don't feed the ducks. You feed them. Mm-hmm. We're gonna see it.
Yeah, but do you think it's going to be a match? It's more than likely going to be a match that we're not going to be. That's not going to be awesome. It's probably going to be something just to set up for the next pay-per-view.
You have
buy
to
them
give
some time.
Yeah, we have to. It's very acceptable to put that across. Maybe have just Triple H get dominated a majority of that match or something of that nature.
Is Big Show and Shaq still going to go at it? Because there's like no build-up, no hype.
You have to do it quick. There's only a couple weeks ahead before we do that WrestleMania.
They are keeping Big Show busy, but
keeping him buff too, man. Props to that
keeping him lean. That's some good shit.
Yeah. What'd you think about Raw overall?
Awesome. I dug it. There's bits that I can fast forward through.
Yeah.
It's not that bad, but overall, I like Raw. But Smackdown is fucking doing it, dude.
Yeah.
Smackdown is on fire right now.
They started off Smackdown with Becky Lynch versus Natalya for the 100th and 110th time.
Yeah.
Throwaway match for the show opener. Carmella comes in and interrupts. James Ellsworth comes in all late.
No. The opening of the show was AJ Styles coming out.
Oh, yeah, he cuts the promo. Yeah. I actually have that. Let me do a little switcheroo here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
AJ Styles comes in, cuts a promo on Shane McMahon, complains about not having a match despite having one of the best debut years in WWE history. Says he's going to talk to Shane about it when he gets to SmackDown, but he said it in the cadence like I'm going to talk to him.
Yeah,
talk to him a little bit.
We're going to go have a talk outside. One of those things.
Yeah. Then the throwaway match between Becky Lynch and Natalya happens, and then Carmella comes in to interrupt.
Oh, with Sugar James Ellsworth?
With Sweetwater Ellsworth. Which it kind of sucks that his run's kind of getting stale now.
It's done, dude.
I like the fact that he was over for a good couple months. I'm glad that he sold some merch.
Yeah.
And
I was
him
this
being
close to buying a James Ellsworth shirt.
Yeah.
No joke.
I mean, you and I both. And I'm just glad for what he did. The journeyman idea, I'm glad for that. Mm-hmm. And now he's being resorted to being Carmella's valet, which is cool because, he's taking a break himself, it looks like. He still wrestles. I know he did a live event against Kurt Hawkins.
Who?
So, I know exactly. Kurt Hawkins, the guy who can... The guy who goes into blind dates knowing the blind date. That's what I was like. Kurt Hawkins is so good. He knows his blind date before they get there.
That's stupid.
Then we go after that to another women's match with Mickie James versus Alexa Bliss.
Ooh, Mickie James.
Alexa tries to go, the finish comes up where Alexa tries to go for the knees to the standing backflip against Mickie, but Mickie rolls away and was able to get off the Mick kick.
Mick kick. Yeah.
In the next segment, so you have Mickie James ended up winning, but this is the non-title match. And these are one of those matches where I was like, well, you need a jobber for this kind of thing, man. Like, I don't like seeing non-title matches against another opponent because if it's a non-title match, it's either going one of two ways. The champ's going to win, or the opponent is going to lose either via DQ or a clean pin. Mm-hmm. But I just don't like seeing that because having that phrase non-title being spoken ahead automatically dictates the finish to a certain percentage. Sometimes they do non-titles and then the person with the belt actually wins.
Yeah.
But in the majority of it, that's what they have. But in the next segment, we had the Miz and Maurice getting up and cutting a promos, talking about John Cena and Nikki Bella again. But then it gets to the extent where John Cena and Nikki Bella end up coming out and trying to start a scuffle. Then Daniel Bryan proposes the idea, interrupts everything, and proposes the idea that, well, all four of you should be in a tag match. It's going to be you, the Miz and Maurice versus Nikki Bella and John Cena.
Makes it official.
And finally makes it official and it's odd how we knew how this was going to happen
Yeah.
A long time
That's
ago.
what
Instead of having John Cena actually be in a legitimate match, which would have been cool to see.
Yeah, that right there. I'm not a fan of John Cena, but I'd much rather have him have him in a match rather than him have this mixed gender tag match.
But Nikki Bella wants a match with her hubby, or no, with her boyfriend.
Yeah, not her hubby. Don't get it twisted.
Boyfriend.
Yeah.
I like the conspiracy that the Miz and Maurice are pulling off that Nikki's only seeing John just for the whole stardom factor.
Yeah. Joshua said it's the Saved by the Bell Smackdown feud of the century.
That's a good one, Josh.
Oh yeah.
That makes, hold on, so Slater is Miz, then Screech. Well, no, it's just going to be Slater and Zach.
Yeah.
With Kelly Kapowski on Zach's side, and whoever Mario Lopez's character was seeing, AC Slater.
Oh, AC Slater.
Everyone, watch out for that guy.
This Miz TV was supposed to be the most epic Miz TV ever.
Yeah.
And his guest was himself. Which, I love the Miz, dude. His mic work is awesome. You can see he's like grooming Maurice because he'll feed her questions. He'll like set her up for things. He's like directing her, which, dude, he's mastering his own promo at the same time. Curating hers, which is, if you don't think the Miz is like one of the best guys out there on the roster right now, you're fucking crazy.
There's a constant argument for that, and I do agree wholeheartedly with that he has been one of the best working heels for WWE in the last couple of years. Mm-hmm. You think of Miz Dow Miz, that whole feud that culminated at WrestleMania 2015.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That was
Miz
cool.
did his part. He slow burn all the way to WrestleMania, and the payoff for Miz Dow. He does his job. His Day 141 promo on Talking Smack. He makes Talking Smack a must-watch thing because you don't know what he's gonna say, and it seems like a majority of it's just like off the cuff, great promos, and that's hard to do.
Maurice was talking about. Let's see if we can pull it up
on Talking Smack.
Yeah,
where that Nikki Bella was nothing but a valet before she met John Cena, and was with Dolph Ziggler.
Let me see if I can find this.
The big zigzag, the zigzag Dolphy Daddy.
How do you spell her last name?
Yeah, you're good, Maria Kanellis.
How do you spell her last name? Oh, it's right here. That was what's her name? Maurice was cutting a promo saying that she kept Nikki Bella kept her from getting a job.
Yeah.
And someone tweeted Maria Kanellis.
Yeah.
And she built on that. She said, yeah, that was true.
Wow.
That was her, Maurice, and I believe Kelly that were all supposed to get jobs, and they bogarted them for that opportunity.
From the Divas? From the Total Divas?
From Total Divas, yeah.
Wow.
And of course, a run in the WWE.
Yep. Definitely. Having Maria Kanellis, hot stuff. Oh my God.
She is
hot stuff.
Hot stuff.
So, wow, that's actually something that's sort of shoot-esque.
Yeah. Look, that's John Cena and her in a mixed tag match. There's a little clip of that on her Twitter. So
this is something that was tweeted out earlier today?
This was yesterday. That's why it's
so then the timestamp would be March 15th, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
All right. So now
March 15th, March 14th.
Now you're on March 5th here. Looks like. 5th, yeah. I
can't find it.
Might have to go up for that instead of going down. You're literally going on. You're in April now. Great.
All right. This is 2012.
This is 2012 stuff. This is you're probably looking at Mario Kanellis's Twitter. Some guy named Mario Kanellis.
Joshua says there's shoots with Kelly about that. On YouShoot?
Oh, I love YouShoot.
I love YouShoot. Dude.
Shout out to YouShoot if that guy who hosts YouShoot.
Yeah.
Hilarious guy.
That guy's funny.
Oh my gosh, the all the points that he does at the end, like after they're done shooting, he's like, "Oh, so you think of da-da-da-da." Like his payoff after that, always gold.
There's this video where he's interviewing Jim Cornette, and like someone knocks at the door, and he's just like, he looks tired, he looks burned out, And he's just looking at the door, and they're like, "You want to let us in?" He's like, "Yeah, why the fuck not?" It was New Jack. He comes in and interrupts their interview and gives it and like makes the video so much better.
Jim Cornette and New Jack.
Yeah, hoe bag. Shout out to the hoe bag. Shout out to what's in the bag. Shout out to what's the hoe bag? The opposite of that one. The dicks. Who's a dick in the
Yeah, who's a dick? It's that's why I told you that Missy Hyatt, basically the lady of the lake of WCW days, early WCW, basically she has a who's who of who she actually took care of.
They had one with Sonny too.
Oh, dude, that one's probably a couple hours long. The AJ then meets Shane O'Mac in the parking lot, which to me, WWE is missing
WCW.
that organization in Atlanta, Billionaire Ted. WWE is missing a lot of these backstage segments, man. They're doing it a lot with SmackDown with Dean Ambrose and Baron Bosley. And with
the baldest guy with long hair.
No, hair versus hair match. Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin. Have that stipulation, please.
You want that match so bad.
Yes. The AJ then meets Shane out in the parking lot.
I just wish Dean Ambrose would get the push his hairline's getting right now.
Oh man, that's good.
What's up? I just had to throw that in there. I'm sorry for distracting.
AJ Styles throws Shane McMahon into a car window.
Before he beat the shit out of him before that, of course.
Totally thrashed the guy.
Which Shane McMahon could take a beating. Him and Sami Zayn. Those guys can take a beating.
After they pull him out of the glass, he was all clean cut, and then they come back from break, he's all bleeding out of the top of his head.
Yeah.
It's a slow cut, It's just one of those slow cuts.
It's one of those ones. It's one of those slow cuts that on the top of the head that usually bleed profusely.
Setting the seeds for what's going to happen later in the show.
Okay.
On Smacketh Down. You know what
pissed me off about that spot? Awesome spot. I love glass shattering.
I enjoyed it myself.
I enjoy people being thrown through windows, thrown through cars, thrashed about in the small little car area. What pissed me off about that segment, he gets thrown in the window, it breaks. You get to pay off the blood later. You get the highlights throughout the show. They keep showing it over and over again that he did it. But they showed one clip of a camera inside the car. He got thrown in.
Oh my gosh.
I'm just like...
Take an insider perspective.
Yeah. Whose camera is that? That immediately brings up all these questions, which is like filmmaking. No, it's a filmmaking no. There has to be a reference point to whatever you're seeing.
Yeah.
Who the fuck has a camera in the car?
That's a good coincidence.
Parking lot? It's just a coincidence.
Some guy's GoPro. He had randomly recording.
That's Big Brother WWE right there. They cam and mic everything.
I like the idea of actually having the cruiserweight division actually attaching mini cameras to the guys while they do like Topa Suicidas or 450 splashes, but no one else. Like big guys won't need to have it, but I'm saying like
you watch Pride, right? You've seen Pride before. Have you seen the cameras that they have on the refs?
No,
they're like, oh man, the ref cams in Pride were the greatest. They were like the lens was fucking cover everything. They had such wide lenses on those, and they were crystal clear. The thing about that was that they have to carry like a fucking duffel bag around with them to power it. Yeah,
that's why they were wearing that. I thought they had like a ton of EMT equipment.
They do that too, but there's a huge fucking battery on them.
Oh, damn.
Huge, yeah. So yeah, they need to have that. At least bring that with the refs, dude. That'd be cool as hell.
Attaching a GoPro on the ref, like having them have dorky glasses.
Yeah, those sick. Fucking Mauro Ranallo glasses.
Then it goes to probably the reason why we're going to watch WrestleMania if they lead this feud up. Mojo and Dolph going at it. They proceed to have this match where they have as much chemistry as water and fire
for the force fed title of the world.
Yeah, and Dolph loses via count out and he's just tired of it. Doesn't want to do it, and Dolph then cuts a promo later on the Fallout saying that he is the brass ring. If Mojo Rawley claims to be at the upper tier like he claims in the promos that led to this feud, he needs to beat the brass ring, which is Dolph Ziggler. And I haven't known the point where Dolph Ziggler even grabbed the brass ring, despite the one time where he cashed in on Alberto Del Rio,
which was awesome.
which was probably one of the biggest pops WWE had in the last 10 years.
That was huge. That one was a huge one, and especially the huge, especially the killer match that Del Rio had before that. That was awesome, dude. That's top 3 cash-ins. I don't know, Dean Ambrose. I actually went back and watched a bunch of. I went through the network, looked it up, and watched a bunch of cash-ins. That one, Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, Daniel Bryan over the Big Show. Those were all good, but Dolph Ziggler, Alberto Del Rio, and a Raw.
Dude, awesome. Crowd went nuts, man.
Awesome, dude.
So then you have Dolph losing via countout. Then I mentioned,
but the psychology of that match, what they were getting over, which Mojo Rawley's probably going to win the Andre the Memorial Battle Royal at WrestleMania.
Yeah, not the Big Show. He's not going to be a 2-time winner.
No.
Okay.
Which is so stupid because I'm like, why the fuck did Big Show won this? Why did Big Show win this? Why did Big Show win the Battle Royal? And then I go and I watch World War III for WCW back in the day. He wins that fucking thing.
He's won World War III as well, yeah.
Ridiculous. But what I think they were trying to get across with the Dolph Ziggler Mojo Rawley match is that Mojo Rawley's going to win the Andre the Memorial Battle Royal because he was just eliminating quote unquote. He was throwing him over, throwing Dolph over. Dolph slides back in, throws him over again, slides back in, throws him over again. Basically showing you that Mojo can fucking
eliminate people.
Yeah.
He might touch that Roman Reigns record, the most eliminations. So then after that, we go into this little semi-shoot segment where Daniel Bryan fires AJ Styles. So no more phenomenal one.
Yeah, he's backstage and Usos are talking to him like, man, you crazy, man.
The guys who want to fuck up American Alpha are like really scared of AJ Styles.
Oh my god.
And Daniel Bryan goes up to him and then he's all like, what are you going to do, Daniel? You going to fire me? I think I am. Get the hell out. So much to the extent where now on WWE.com, you can look up that AJ Styles is now on the alumni page of WWE.com.
Oh my god, yeah, but
kayfabe is alive.
I love me some kayfabe, dude.
Kayfabe, and I love doing kayfabe commentaries.
Oh yeah. They talked to Daniel Bryan right afterward on Talking Smack, like, and then Daniel Bryan alluded to the fact that Shane's not in his right state of mind. Look at how he hobbled out into the in front of the crowd, and then, which do you want to get to that?
Yeah, exactly.
The final segment.
Before we had that, American Alpha and the Usos had the second non-title victory of the night, which was Alexa Bliss and Mickie James, with Mickie James winning. The Usos end up beating American Alpha. And once again, it's one of those situations where, it's one of those non-title, let me win real quick, 50-50 booking.
This match, you weren't supposed to give a shit about. Obviously, because throughout the entire match, they keep cutting back to Shane McMahon refusing medical attention, walking his way all the way to gorilla position, then ultimately coming out after the match ends.
And then leads up to Shane closing out SmackDown by saying, well, AJ Styles doesn't have an opponent at WrestleMania. Well, he does now, and so he's going to face me at WrestleMania. Shane and AJ Styles at WrestleMania.
Do you like that? What do you think?
AJ Styles is going to be so injured. I mean, no, Shane McMahon's going to be so... I was like, AJ Styles is injured now.
Yeah.
Shane McMahon's going to be so injured that he's not going to be able to go, and he's going to bring out Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh, shit. Oh.
You heard it here first from the top of the Wrestling Observatory. You know what? I actually had a Survivor Series Goldberg Brock.
Did you?
Yeah. Before the other observatory did.
I don't mean to brag.
Before the other one in Burbank, the Griffith Observatory had it.
I don't mean to brag or boast here, but I haven't heard it anywhere. I never heard it anywhere, but I called Chris Jericho interrupting that match, and then leading into WrestleMania, Chris Jericho Owens for the title.
We got Adrian Bad Moon Luna for booking for creative. Yeah. You have to take was it Dewey Foley? His name's Dewey?
Dewey, yeah.
Dewey Foley.
Your son Dewey.
Your son Dewey's screwing everything up.
Job. Triple H when he was cutting a promo on him.
Oh yeah. Dewsworth.
Dewsworth.
So before we get into 205 Live, let's go into that Ring of Honor.
Okay. Yeah,
if you want to.
No, yes.
I want to let you guys know that this pay-per-view, A Smark and a Mark, is brought to you by Tullios. Enjoy figure 4 essential vitamins and minerals. Vitamin R, vitamin I, vitamin C, and vitamin Woo.
Act now with your allocated proofs of purchase. Send them in so your mother can win a trip to Space Mountain.
Yes, every 4 UPCs of Tullios gets you get your mother a free ride on Space Mountain.
Tullios, get over now.
You have to be 17 or over to participate in the Space Mountain riding contest.
Please, 16 and over. Where
16 and over where applicable.
Where age of consent law applies.
Or what is the other one? Honey Bunches of Orange, and then Jonathan Coachman Crunch.
Yeah, Jonathan Coach Crunch.
So thanks Tullios for sponsoring,
supporting the show, and believing in us. We believe in you too. And
Thank you, Tullios.
Yeah. All right, so Ring of Honor 15th anniversary show.
Mm-hmm.
We had which hasn't happened in a long time, at least that I can remember, a pretty significant botch of a move that resulted in a severe injury for one of the wrestlers involved, TK O'Ryan. Do you know anything about the kid?
No, the only thing I actually had mentioned that you had mentioned to me was actually that he got injured.
Yeah.
And then I had to replay that injury not once, not twice, but thrice. And that looked like a very painful injury. Oh,
yeah. We're going to cut to that clip right now. Just to let you know, this is for entertainment purposes. There's no monetary gain for this right now. This is strictly for research and
strictly educational research purposes. We don't, we're trying to clear our liabilities of viewing this. All rights reserved to the good people at Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor Creative.
Please support Ring of Honor. Buy their internet pay-per-views. Buy their merch.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's good. I don't study bird law or any type of legalese, but I think that was good. I think we're in the clear.
Ring of Honor 15th anniversary show.
Let's take a quick look at that clip. So you have him prepping little moonsault, and it looks like he breaks his legs.
So what happens there? What was the spot that we just witnessed right now? What was the spot we just witnessed?
What we're looking at right here is a guy who didn't measure his moonsault to the fullest extent before he actually shot it off and breaks his leg on the guardrail.
Right there on the guardrail. Right
pretty unfortunate.
The male with the red shirt.
We're looking at right here.
Look right now. Pay attention to the shins.
Look at those. Look at that impact.
Oh, my God.
The middle point for where his shin and his ankle, the top of his ankle meet, literally flips over that guardrail by itself.
Yes, that guardrail.
The guardrail.
One more for you guys at home.
Guardrail.
Boom.
So what's a lesson learned from this type of situation, young Adrian?
The lesson learned, I would say, take into consideration the available space you have, as well as let's pad up those guardrails, Ring of Honor. Yeah, I get the gate, the metal Ring of Honor sign on there. You can smack and make noise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it was just a freak accident. We can attribute it to that.
Poor Kyle O'Reilly. Was it TK O'Reilly?
TK O'Reilly. TK O'Ryan.
TK O'Reilly. Oh, that was Kyle O'Reilly.
No.
Kyle O'Reilly is...
Kyle O'Reilly's
it's a different animal.
Amazing. Totally different animal.
Different animal, different stripes. But TK O'Reilly.
TK O'Ryan.
TK O'Ryan?
Yeah, he's a part of the kingdom.
Oh, okay. That's what it was.
Yeah. So
the thing that TK O'Ryan needs to learn in that situation, and I don't, the only thing I've ever done was observe wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
I watch at the top of my wrestling observatory, and a lot of guys measure out, know beforehand what needs to be done. It just sucks that it looks like he put too much gas on that, took off too high. It sucks, man, because that sets you out for months. And I'd say it's a combination of the guys not picking him up either. If they would have picked him up a little bit more, there's less impact off that guardrail. And I'm not saying he could have went, if they would have left him, if they would have picked him up at the right moment, you're looking at maybe a fracture, not a complete
Yeah, that right there is...
That's completely broken.
Is that career ending?
No. Definitely not. Sid came back. Remember, Sid came back after the same thing.
Yeah, but Sid was hopped up on all the...
Sid was a psycho. I know. But there was justice for Sid because he came back.
That's right. Sid justice.
But in all seriousness, with TK O'Ryan's situation that he has, there is light at the end of this tunnel. It's a completely recoverable injury. Actually, it's an injury that's you can completely recover from. Mm-hmm. And it sucks, man. Like, if I were wrestling, and this is no shot on the guy, but I just got to see what I can do, or if I'm talking about it beforehand, I want to check out the spot before I even do it.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. That's always questions at the end. I'm playing Monday morning quarterback, you know.
There you go. What sucks is he's probably done that a million times, and it sucks that, you know, he's gotten away with that move for so long, and the fact that it just happens randomly,
and he did it effortlessly, assuming that it was just going to be.
Yeah. That really that really must really fuck with you in your mind. Wish the best and the speediest recovery we can for TK O'Ryan.
TK O'Ryan.
Yeah.
Get well soon, brother.
Yeah, there we go.
It sucks seeing guys that put their bodies on the line, guys and girls, get injured for doing what they love. Mm-hmm. They love to entertain. They all do it for the fans, except Brock Lesnar. He does it for the money. But
get it twisted. Brock Lesnar's a piece of shit.
It just sucks because guys put their lives on the line, and it just incidences like this you can't predict, and we don't ever want to see something like that happen.
Especially for like a young talent like that, dude.
Especially with people with like huge futures.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, that fucked me up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how about we talk about 205 Live, huh?
Go ahead, talk about 205 Live. I didn't watch it this week.
Neville opens up 205 Live and discusses his 1-year anniversary since the re-injury at the very same arena that they were at in Pennsylvania. And Mustafa Ali then shows up, cuts him off mid-promo, and faces Drew Gulak.
John Gulak?
Home state. It's his home state of Pennsylvania, so he's able to go out there and show the fans what he's got as a heel, which you can't. Outside crossbody was done well by Mustafa Ali.
I like Mustafa Ali. He's Indian Seth Rollins, as I like to call him. Whatever he is, Pakistani Seth Rollins.
I think so. Then the crowd gets quiet amongst great technical wrestling because Drew Gulak has a spot where it looks like he's going to duck under you, but then he rolls up and then gets you in for a small package pin.
Yeah.
That thing happens so quick. But then what I want to mention is that certain crowds pop for 205 Live, and this crowd didn't. For the beginning match, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So far, the biggest pop of the night happened not during this match, via which Mustafa Ali won with the crazy inverted 450 splash.
Insane.
The biggest pop of the night was a synchronized dance between Rich Swann and Jack Gallagher before they started their match, where Rich Swann does the beat it dance where he puts his arms up and does the tuck in and all that. And Jack Gallagher did it too, and he got the crowd went crazy for both of them doing it at the same time.
They love Gallagher too. Man.
So then it starts with Noam Dar and Arya Daivari versus Rich Swann and gentleman Jack Gallagher. And this match pretty much was one you expected that Noam Dar and Arya Daivari had to win, just because they didn't get their comeuppance last 205 Live.
Yeah.
Rich Swann ended up getting pinned by Noam Dar because he gave him Noam Dar gave Arya Daivari the ill-advised tag and then pinned him up, grabbed him by his trunks, and got the pin over Rich Swann.
Did he pull his ass out like Tony Nese pulled TJ Perkins' ass out?
No. Pittsburgh didn't get that privilege. After that match, you had Tony Nese versus Austin Aries versus Akira Tozawa versus Brian Kendrick versus TJ Perkins. Fatal 5-way for an opportunity to face Neville for the Cruiserweight title at WrestleMania.
On the pre-show of WrestleMania.
I know, on that at the 4 p.m. slot at WrestleMania.
So that Sweetwater 2 p.m. slot.
Brought to you by Snickers. Tony Nese did the first crazy spot of that whole match by doing a Tony's knees to Austin Aries outside of the ring to where Nia Jax usually spears all her opponents.
Yeah.
Right in that barricade. So Austin Aries is out for majority of the match. So in order, Tony Nese gets pinned by TJP. Akira Tozawa gets pinned by Brian Kendrick. Then
it was elimination?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So then TJ Perkins and Brian Kendrick go at it, but then TJ Perkins tries to go up for sliced bread and sliced bread off the top turnbuckle. Then Austin Aries slides in and gets a power bomb off of off of TJ Perkins whilst Brian Kendrick was doing sliced bread.
Holy
so it's a sliced bread power bomb combo. Crazy, but it kind of botched at the end. It kind of botched at the end because Brian Kendrick wasn't able to get the full turnover. It kind of landed a little bit on TJ Perkins. So then TJ Perkins kicks Brian Kendrick after Brian Kendrick pins TJ Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to get him in the sliced bread and actually get the pin. But then TJ Perkins then kicks Brian Kendrick after. I don't know.
Shit.
After the after he's eliminated, then it leads up to a double getting the roaring elbow on Brian Kendrick, and now Austin Aries is going to WrestleMania.
Oh shit!
To face Neville for the Cruiserweight Championship. But before that, there was a good little 2 minute tussle between Austin Aries and Brian Kendrick, where Brian Kendrick actually legitimately had the captain's hook locked on Austin Aries for, I would say, about 45 seconds.
Oh, yeah?
And he was able to get to the ropes. Crowd goes wild. Then that's when Austin Aries was able to get that roaring elbow after. Crazy stuff today.
That's
crazy stuff this week in wrestling, Adrian.
I was looking for the GIF of that, but I can't find it. But I did come across a nice little stat here.
Yeah.
A statistic. Kevin Owens has been champion 56% of the time since he debuted in NXT.
Wow.
More than half of the time that he's been on WWE programming, he's been champ.
That's good stuff, man. I like his debut pay-per-view when he went up against John Cena and had a crazy match.
Insane.
As NXT champion.
Insane.
So
that wraps up our week in wrestling right there.
That wraps up the pay-per-view from the top of the Wrestling Observatory.
Now, how awesome is it that Austin Aries is leapfrogging from his coming off of an injury in NXT to going to the announcer table and then boom, straight into fucking WrestleMania.
It shows that he has what it takes within that division that they were going to put him in anyway. He's about 5'8".
Mm-hmm.
And it shows how much trust they have with the guy because the guy can cut a promo. He's interviewed himself. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
And he's good on the mic. He's good at commentary, which he has a career after that. He reminds me of a short Jesse Ventura,
mm-hmm.
you know. But
that's weird.
The creative system that WWE has set for this guy,
mm-hmm.
it has to be past the cruiserweight division.
Sure,
all respect to creative for actually giving him the title opportunity at Mania so quick, but there's a ceiling past the cruiserweight division that Austin Aries has to break through after 2018.
Of course, yeah.
You know, I feel that.
Well,
what do you think?
Well, we'll see what happens. Do you think he's going to be champ
at WrestleMania?
Yeah.
For sure. Neville's been putting on a great heel program.
I love Neville right now.
And it's the right time. The stars have aligned, as they would say for WrestleMania 6. Well, so it's going to be a good match. I already know those guys they probably met before in a previous organization. I don't know whether was Neville in Ring of Honor before, or Neville? Well,
Pac. Yeah, Pac.
So they probably faced before with Austin Aries.
Nug says the twist, he's been having a fake leg this entire time. TKO Ryan. That's his twist. You just got it. M. Night Shyamalan.
I got you guys.
And Cosmo the Mighty. Cosmo says, Cos, our boy Cos, who didn't make it here today.
Yeah.
But he is
In spirit?
In the chat room, yeah. He said, Aries is my next IC champ. Do you see Austin Aries taking the Intercontinental title and making it great again?
He's a great face or heel. He actually doesn't do full face. Mm-hmm. When he's actually a face, he's a he's tweener. It's all he's a braggadocio tweener, you know. Yeah. But when he's full heel,
how long have you been watching Austin Aries for?
The last 4 years, 3-4 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
since TNA.
Well, I had to go. When I started watching, I went back into the annals of the TNA Vault, aka the YouTube channel that they have where they give the free wrestling away. You could check them out on TNA Wrestling. They give away their best matches.
Cosmo said he's the best tweener,
and
that's why he's the best tweener.
The fact is I've seen how this guy works, and he is, for what he lacks in size, he makes up for in volumes in his wrestling ability, his charisma, and his promo skills. Mm-hmm. Ring IQ's through the roof too. He knows where he's at all the time, man.
Yeah,
and the guy can go, and he deserves, even if it's an Intercontinental title first. And I say first because he might possibly be world champion soon.
Oh shit!
You know, hold all the titles.
The lineal title or the universal title?
The Shinsuke Nakamura pants title.
Okay. All right. Well, just drop some quick. Are we done here?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. How about that?
Okay. Well, just something I wanted to say before we wrap up is that today marks a historic day in the Lucha Underground temple.
Oh yeah.
Today is the day Lucha Underground finally hit Netflix. 39 fucking episodes of the first season.
Yes.
However many episodes in the second season. There is more than enough content for you to sink your teeth into and really, really see what people haven't been paying attention to for the longest time.
Exactly.
Lucha Underground is some of the best wrestling out right now. And yeah, whatever their vignettes or their videos they do are really production heavy. They're almost movies.
Which is not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all. Some people bitch about that. Wrestling fans bitch about that. Which, dude, come on. Yeah, it's pre-recorded. Yeah, they're only an hour long. But there's a lot there, and you can see old faces from wrestling you're familiar with. Yeah. You can see new faces you'd never even heard about. Watch Lucha Underground. I can't stress that enough. It's on Netflix now, dude. Do it.
There we go. I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Pay-Per-View Wrestling Podcast spin-off show, A Smark and a Mark. Try to guess who's the Smark and who's the Mark. I'm Mark Flores. This has been Adrian Bad Moon Luna. And we are going to close it out with a quick little discretion by our sponsor, Tullios. Enjoy a nice box of Tullios.
A nice batch of Tullios.
Have a good night, guys. Thank